How did US military strategy use hearts and minds in Vietnam? Imagine a strategy that aimed not just to defeat an enemy but to win over the hearts of the people. This was the essence of the hearts and minds approach used by the United States military during the Vietnam War. It was part of a broader pacification effort designed to gain the support of the rural Vietnamese population. The goal was to undermine the Viet Cong insurgency by winning popular support through various military, political, economic, and social programs. At the heart of this strategy was the idea of protecting and holding the rural population. This was a shift from earlier tactics that focused on search and destroy missions. Those earlier methods often alienated civilians and did not help build trust. Instead, the pacification effort aimed to secure villages, improve local governance, and provide economic development. By doing this, the United States hoped to reduce the appeal of the Viet Cong. A key player in this strategy was a joint civilian-military organization called Civil Operations and Revolutionary Development Support. This group coordinated efforts to integrate military security with civic action programs. One significant aspect of the strategy involved relocating villagers into government-controlled, secure zones. This was intended to isolate them from Viet Cong influence. However, this often meant forced movements and destruction of crops, which led to resentment among the population. From 1969 to 1972, leaders like Robert Comer, who was the commander of Civil Operations and Revolutionary Development Support, worked alongside generals like Creighton Abrams and William Westmoreland. During this time, the pacification program showed some measurable progress. By 1970, many rural Vietnamese were reported to be living in relatively secure villages, and the South Vietnamese government had extended its presence in those areas. Despite these advancements, the effectiveness of the hearts and minds strategy faced challenges. Ongoing military conflict, corruption within the South Vietnamese government, and the resilience of the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese forces limited its success. The United States strategy was also influenced by Cold War concerns. It aimed to build a stable, anti-communist South Vietnam through nation-building efforts that combined military security with political and social reforms. However, the authoritarian nature of the South Vietnamese regime and its reliance on American military support undermined the legitimacy that the strategy sought to create. In practice, the hearts and minds approach often clashed with broader military tactics that relied heavily on firepower. These tactics could lead to civilian casualties and destruction, which eroded local support. The tension between military operations and pacification efforts highlights the challenges of the Vietnam War. Winning the support of the people was just as important as defeating the enemy militarily. The hearts and minds strategy was a population-centric counterinsurgency effort that combined security, political control, and development programs. While it achieved some localized success, it was ultimately constrained by the nature of the conflict and the weaknesses of the South Vietnamese government.